All right, I think we're live. We should be live on YouTube, Facebook, and YouTube. And of course, this is HypnoNews for the week of October the 20th, 2025. And Grant is away today. He is on a special assignment, so he will be back with us next week. And yeah, we will get right into it because guess what? The news today is always good. Why is it good? Because we have conferences coming up. And the very first one that's on the docket now is, of course, the Canadian Hypnosis Conference. It is this weekend. So if you haven't made your final arrangements to get to that conference, then you really want to go and spend some time in Toronto, the center of the universe, as they call it. Tirana, if you want to sound like you actually live there. For some reason, they seem to forget T's somewhere along the way. But you can, of course, make it to the Canadian Hypnosis Conference. It is in Toronto. Literally, you get off the plane and you can go to the conference hotel and you are right there. It is shaping up to be a well attended conference because I know they put tickets back on sale because there was still lots of demand for them. So if there are any tickets left, you are more than welcome to scoop them up and get over and attend the conference 2 days, Saturday, Sunday. And then if you have time, like I said, we've said it many times before, if you have time afterwards, explore Toronto. It is actually a really cool city. I don't say that very often because I live in Western Canada, so I don't get out there nearly as much as I could or should. Just to give you an idea of how far away I am from Toronto, it's a 3 hour flight. That's 3 hours of airtime to get from either Regina or Saskatoon to Toronto, nonstop. If you get the nonstop flight. So that's how big Canada is. And of course, with all of that, distance and whatnot, there are some regional differences. The one thing that is uniting our country right now, of course, the Toronto Blue Jays are in the World Series, and that is going on probably as we speak. All right, yes, and there is my co-host with the most, Mr. Brian Bay. Hope things are going well. I do. We were talking when the Jays and the Mariners were playing, and look, just yeah, I know, but you know what? I was going to use it as a metaphor, man. It win or lose, oftentimes is based on one hit, that one opportunity. Whether you take it or you don't take it, whether you make it or you don't, whichever side you fall on, oftentimes that is what we call the turning point in life. So anyway, we will carry on. It's not it listen, it's not New York in the World Series, so that's good. We'll leave it at that. All right, now coming up next, what do we have next after this? Oh my gosh, we've got the Hypnosis Education Association. We had Melanie and Sean on the Hypnosis Hero podcast last week, I think it was. And it seems the Dodgers aren't really well liked for some reason. I'm not sure why. Um, you know, everything that I see in social media is pointing the same way. It's I don't care who wins as long as it's not the Dodgers. So, which of course leaves Toronto, and some varying degrees of yay or nay on that. The Hypnosis Education Association having an online conference and some actually really stellar speakers. Of course, Dr. Jody has been a guest on the podcast here, Hypnosis Hero podcast, a couple of times. Cormac has been there along with her. I was just looking at the list and everything. This is a slightly older picture, so Grant and Michael Brody and a few others are not pictured on here. Oh, Michael is there. He is down in the corner. Tommy's there. Uh, it, by all intents and purposes, it looks like it's going to be an absolutely stellar conference. The rumor has it on social media is that there is a 50% off offer until tomorrow night, and then it goes away. And that might also be good that if you actually wanted to join the Hypnosis Education Association, that might also be there available as well. So for half price, which, I mean, you're joining an organization that has been around for quite some time. It is a nonprofit. It is there to support the community. And so, when you have organizations that actually grow up looking to actively support instead of manage, that's always a good thing. Get some momentum. Oh, I tell you what, how different life would be in Toronto if the Maple Leafs actually won the Stanley Cup. That would be amazing. It really would. What would be even weirder is if they played against the Edmonton Oilers to do it. So that would be an all Canadian affair, that's for sure. All right, UK conference coming up. So next month, the UK convention is coming up. Scott Sandlin is the keynote speaker. And if you don't know who Scott Sandlin is, look up HypnoThoughts Live, and you'll get a very high-level glimpse of who Scott is. Michael Brody's joining us all the way from Michigan, just south of Toronto. Michael, good to see you. And Michael, you've jumped out now in Aisha, and you actually are hosting a Tuesday morning. Was it the third Tuesday, if I recall correctly? Third Tuesday of the month. You're hosting a backstage with Michael Brody. Backstage with Brody, I believe, is what it is actually called. But that to me looks very interesting, and I'm assuming that you're talking about all the things that have to go on to make sure that you actually have a good show. At least we don't. Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, so it's not going to happen that easily. It would happen after they traded away Connor McDavid. Let's put it that way, because I think he's only got a couple of years left with the Oilers. Everything is well, not where I am. I'm north and significantly east. North and significantly east. More like a roundtable. Okay, so more of a discussion about the things that go on behind the scenes. And, for those of you that have never put on a stage show or have never been a public speaker, there's a lot that goes into everything when they, before they start introducing you and you walk out on stage. There's all kinds of setup. There's a number of pieces of information that have to be exchanged. The sound person has to be on board with you. The lighting, if that's a different person, sometimes it's the same person. That person needs to be on the ball. If this is being recorded, who's recording it? How are the cameras set up? Have the sound check levels all been checked? Is everything set and ready to go so that when you walk out, you can perform, you can execute, you can deliver whatever it is that you are going to deliver. Yeah. Again, here's another organization, AISHA, the International Stage Hypnosis Association, serving and helping the community grow and be better. So there's that. And whether you are here or if you are going abroad or you live in the UK, like some of our friends do, it's international. So, but the UK convention is very much it's a little more intensive on the research and medical side of hypnosis. not a bad thing because everybody could use some grounding when it comes to, hey, these are things that hypnosis actually can do versus, some of the potentially more wild claims that, hypnosis can do everything. Well, yes, well, I believe it was. Uh, I believe it was Plato. It could have been Socrates that said, "He who thinks everything is a nail, he who thinks everything is a hammer tends to hit everything as a nail." So something along that lines. It's been a long time. Just pulled that quote. It just flashed in my head there. So I'll clean that up for next week. What can I say? Okay, here we go. And of course, when we talk about niche conferences, we've got Toronto. We've just finished up with Michigan as well, down in Michigan. Here, we've got the Performing Hypnosis Summit. Again, niche conference, performing, yes. Hypnosis, yes. Does that mean that if you are strictly a hypnotherapist or a hypnotist that is certified to work on people and do personal change sessions that you should not attend? Absolutely not. What it means is here's another opportunity for you to learn more about the art and the science of hypnosis. And, the one thing I will say is for those of you that are looking at being a presenter at a conference and you have no clue how to even get started, this is a good place to come and get that knowledge. And you can do it in a great place. It's in Las Vegas. Hey, I should have updated the picture because we are under 100 days now before the Performing Hypnosis Summit. And here's the thing about PHS. It is a close-knit community because it is a niche. So, you will find a lot of the stage hypnotists that are there. Some of them have been performing. Some of them are second-generation performers. It doesn't matter. We're there to learn. We're there to support. We're there to guide. We're there to help. And so many good things came from last year's conference. Last year's conference, that was year 3, was amazing. And yes, I know that, we were, missing Jim along the way. Year 4 is going to be even better. That's all I can say about it. The speaker schedule, we haven't, as Dan put it, it's not locked yet, but it will be shortly. And that means that if you even are thinking about coming, you might want to get ahead of the lineup. Book your hotel now because the booking schedule runs out at December 21st or whenever the rooms are completely booked. So you have that window, and then start looking at seat sales because guess what? Just like everything else, we're going to have Black Friday and Cyber Monday, and then people are going to say, here's your winter travel sales. There's going to be some way, shape, or form where you can save on airfare to get to and from Las Vegas in a timely manner. So by all means, get your stuff together, get yourself ready to go. It's going to be another amazing summit, and we will see you out there. And Hypnosis Hero. I don't know what more we can say about this next guest that's coming up next week. Jeff is again. He was at PHS. We've met him a few times there. I actually met him at HypnoThoughts 4 or 5 years ago. Whenever it was that I went with Jim, 2022, I think it was. Jeff is a phenomenal hypnotist. He is also a creative talent when it comes to audio, lighting, um, making the show more of a production than a standard, what I would call a standard stage show. And any of us who've been in the business know that being a stage hypnotist takes a lot. You have to make sure that you're making You have to make sure that your volunteers are safe, they are having fun, they are doing and creating from the suggestions that you're giving them. And of course, one builds on the other. When you can add to that some great audio and some great video or great lighting or great anything to enhance the experience, it just gets even better. And that is Jeff, I think, in a nutshell. So we look forward to meeting him Tuesday night. So we are on our second and fourth Tuesdays. And the time, of course, hasn't changed, and it's not going to change. It's not even going to change when you guys roll your clocks back or forward or whatever you guys do in November, because for you guys, not a problem, right? You're going to change the time. It's still going to be at 8:30 Eastern. It's going to be at 5:30 Pacific. For Sean, however, who never changes his clock because we don't do that sort of thing in Saskatchewan, we've grown up and gotten past that. For me, my time will change. So instead of me coming on at 6:30, I'll be coming on at 7:30. So because I'll be 1 hour closer to Eastern. That's just the way it's always worked, because nobody else has figured out how not to change the clocks in the time zone. So anyway, it's all good. This is the last one that I'll be doing at 6:30, because of course in the second week of November you will have already changed your clocks. 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. We will be online on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, and we might even try breaking out into LinkedIn. I'm not sure if I can actually do that or not. We're going to give it a go anyway. But yes, we will be out there, and again, promoting hypnosis, promoting. When Jim named Hypnosis Hero, it was about the hero's journey. And who's the hero? Well, it's the hypnotist that we're interviewing. So, we Brian and I tend to treat every interview that we have as tell us about your journey. Share with us what have you learned along the way. What's cool right now in your life. And so that forms the basis of our interviews. And of course, it always ends off with you getting hypnotized at the end of the podcast. That's one of those little quirks that Jim wanted to make sure we had as close to every time as possible. I know we haven't done it every time, but as close to every time as possible, because people for some reason like getting hypnotized online. I don't know if you've seen it, but definitely on TikTok that has exploded again for mini hypnosis sessions. 10 or 12 minutes, a quick hitter on whatever it is. So if you don't have YouTube videos or TikTok videos with all those quick hitters, time to start creating some, because that's where people are looking. Is it going to provide deep and long-lasting change? Not likely, but it gives people a taste of what they could do with actual hypnosis. So, all right. Go to the week, and I'm not sure I changed this since the last time, but you know what? That was like a month ago when we used this. So, use hypnosis not as a cure, but as a means of establishing a favorable climate in which to learn. Milton Erickson. And I heard some controversy around this the other night, as to, everybody claiming that they're Ericksonian, but not telling stories. It's still being very direct. And they may have parts that are Ericksonian, but not all. So take that as kind of a side note, but hypnosis is not a cure. It is something that helps people learn how to be different, would be the best way that I would describe it. And until we meet again, of course, take care, stay well, be awesome. Have a good night, everybody.